Hey everyone, welcome to Technology Paul. Today we're going to uncover and address the rumors that are swirling around the Nintendo Switch Pro. Rumors are heating up and it seems likely we'll find out more details soon. Last year I bought the Nintendo Switch OLED and I have enjoyed it immensely. Admittedly, I bought it as a family console since my 5-year-old was just getting into video games. We've been absolutely crushing games from the Mario franchise like Odyssey, 3D World, Mario Kart, as well as other games like Sonic Colors, Sonic Frontiers, and Nintendo Switch Sports. I did a review last year too of Nintendo Switch Online, which is Nintendo's answer to PlayStation Plus and Xbox Gold, essentially enabling online multiplayer games and including a game subscription to tons of old school Nintendo games from past consoles. But things haven't been fantastic. There's definitely some things that I think the Switch could do better, and I'm not the only one. In online communities, there is a laundry list of complaints, feature requests, and wish list items that a next generation Nintendo Switch would be wise to be aware of. Not only that, but in the last year or so, we've seen the rise of the handheld gaming PC. Just a few months back, I reviewed Valve's Steam Deck, and quite frankly, I was blown away by what it can do. In terms of performance, it blows the Nintendo Switch away, and the library of games isn't bad either. And there have been many competing handheld gaming PCs since. Nintendo is going to have to up its game soon if it wants to hold on to the market share it's built with the highly successful Nintendo Switch. So let's get into a few things we know and a few things we don't know about the future version of the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch has been a global blockbuster of a console. Originally released in March 2017, it had a huge launch. In Japan, the console sold over 330,000 units in its first 3 days on the market, and in the United States, the Switch sold over 906,000 units in its first month, making it the fastest selling home console in history. Over the years, the Nintendo Switch has now sold over 114 million units internationally. These strong sales have been driven by a combination of factors, including the console's unique hybrid design, as well as a strong lineup of games and positive reviews. I think we were all kind of knocked off our feet a bit when Nintendo first brought the Switch out, and it was so versatile with the ability to use it as a handheld gaming device or dock it to a TV, and the detachable Joy-Cons that provide a movement-based interface or a great multiplayer experience was a really cool concept. That, plus Nintendo has managed to keep a steady stream of fun and popular games coming over the years like The Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart, and Animal Crossing. But despite all the goodness, throughout 2022 and into 2023 here, we've been seeing speculation ramping up about a next generation Nintendo Switch. And for good reason. I hate to say it, but in 2023, the Nintendo Switch is feeling a little long in the tooth. If you've watched my Steam Deck review from a few months ago, you'll know that at the time I was praising the Nintendo Switch in comparison to the Steam Deck, because while the Steam Deck is still a semi-complicated PC, despite being disguised as a console-like experience, the Nintendo Switch is a true console experience. I was praising the fact that it just works without issue every time. Unlike on a PC where you have to fiddle around with graphics settings or check to see if your system supports certain games, with a Nintendo Switch you just have to download a game and start playing. And that's true to a point, but I have to be honest, I'm kind of tired of playing games on the current Nintendo Switch hardware. I've been starting to notice glitchiness and laggy graphics performance, and this is certainly something the internet is complaining about too. I don't notice it as much on the first-party Nintendo games, but on third-party games, it becomes fairly obvious the NVIDIA custom Tegra processor that Nintendo has in the Switch just isn't cutting it anymore, and that the 5-year-old system might need an upgrade. The performance above all is the thing that drives me a bit crazy. My son and I are into playing Minecraft together, and we have a lot of devices in the house that can play Minecraft, like our iPads, PS5, or PC, and the Switch has by far the worst performance. It takes 3 times as long to load into the selected world, the viewable distance on the horizon is cut in half, and loading or trying to use the Minecraft store is next to impossible. Even loading up certain Switch menus like Nintendo Switch Online is painfully slow. It's gotten to the point where I will go out of my way not to pick up the Nintendo Switch anymore and opt for something else. Nintendo fans deserve a new version of the Switch that is made for 2023, and the rumors are that we just might get it. The Nintendo Switch Pro, also known as the Nintendo Switch 2 or whatever you want to call it, is the highly anticipated upgrade we're waiting for. Obviously at this point, Nintendo hasn't officially announced the release of a new Switch, but that hasn't stopped rumors and speculation from circulating about the new features and specs on the new console. According to the rumors, the Nintendo Switch Pro will feature a more powerful processor and graphics. It's been suggested that a new NVIDIA chip, the Tegra 239 system on a chip, will power the device, and that it will be an 8-core CPU. Supposedly, the Switch Pro will have a larger and higher resolution OLED display. The OLED display is expected to provide deeper blacks and better color reproduction. You can get an OLED display today if you buy that specific model, but it sounds like that will be the standard in the next generation Switch. The new Switch is also expected to have a longer battery life, with a reported battery life of up to 9 hours in handheld mode. We're also expecting to have better storage capacity with a minimum of 64 gigabytes of internal storage and support for micro SD upgrades of up to 2 terabytes. This will allow gamers to store more games and other content in their console without having to frequently delete files. And we're anticipating that the Switch Pro will support 4K resolution, at least in docked mode. This will make the games look more crisp and detailed when played on a 4K TV. Additionally, the console is rumored to have a co-processor to upmix a 1080p video feed into a 4K output. Rumors suggest that the new Switch will have faster loading times and improved cooling, which will help the console run more smoothly and efficiently. The Switch Pro is also expected to have the same modes as the current Switch: handheld, TV, and a tabletop mode. And some rumors suggest that the new Switch will have support for audio input, allowing for the use of a Bluetooth mic for in-game chat. As for the release date, sources have suggested that the Nintendo Switch Pro is set to release in the first half of 2023. However, research firm Ampere Analysis has said that they're currently forecasting a next-gen Nintendo device to release in 2024. So there's a pretty wide range of speculation on the time frame at this point. As for the price, it is expected to be higher than the current Switch. However, the exact price is unknown. The OLED Nintendo Switch is currently priced at $399 US, and I'd expect the Switch Pro to be priced at a similar level or slightly higher. The Nintendo Switch Pro is shaping up to be a powerful and versatile console that will provide gamers with an even better gaming experience. However, it's important to remember that these are just rumors and speculations, and nothing has been officially confirmed by Nintendo yet. We will, of course, have to wait for an official statement from Nintendo to know for sure what the new Switch will be like. All in all, the Nintendo Switch Pro is expected to bring new features and specs that will totally enhance the gaming experience, such as an OLED display, 4K resolution support, better battery life, faster loading times, and improved cooling. While the release date is not officially confirmed by Nintendo, rumors suggest that it will be in the first half of 2023, but it could also be as late as 2024. So in conclusion, the Nintendo Switch has been a huge success for Nintendo since its release in 2017, and with strong sales driven by its super cool hybrid design and a strong lineup of games. However, as we enter 2023, the console is feeling a little long in the tooth, and Nintendo is going to have to up its game to hold on to its market share. The rise of handheld gaming PCs like the Steam Deck has also highlighted the need for Nintendo to improve the performance and graphical capabilities of the Switch. There have been increasing rumors and speculations about the next generation Nintendo Switch, also known as the Switch Pro, and although nothing has been officially announced by Nintendo yet, we all know they're working on it, and I can't wait to get more details. That's all for today, folks. I hope you found this video interesting and informative, and if you did, click that like button, comment down below, and subscribe for more tech-related content and to stay up to date on the Nintendo Switch Pro. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.